workshop, May 2nd, 2016. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, notice of this meeting is given by way of notice filed with Star Gazette and of the Express Times, filed in the Municipal Clerk's Office, and posted in Belvedere Town Hall, 691 Water Street, Belvedere, New Jersey.
This agenda is subject to last-minute additions and/or deletions by the Belvedere Town Council. We do have one correspondence that just came in. I'm indicating a street closure to the agenda. Does council have any other additions? If not, roll call, please.
Mayor Kennedy.
Here.
Councilman Fitzgerald.
Here.
Councilman McIntyre.
Here.
Councilwoman Myers.
Here.
Councilman Miller.
Here.
Councilwoman Politani. Here. Councilman Zucca.
Here.
Can I have approval of minutes for April 18, 2016, regular and executive session meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next we will go to Tree City USA 20th Anniversary Award.
Sorry, I can't get it out.
Do you need help now?
Yes, please. Good evening, Mayor Kennedy, councilwomen, councilmen, honored people of Belvedere and guests. We have made a breakthrough this year. Whoops.
Excuse me,
This way.
set this up.
I'm Dawn Piazza. I live at 729 Franklin Street in Belvedere. And we have been presented our 20th year of Tree City USA. And we were given this flag. I'd like to know if you could put it up somewhere around here. And I would also like to thank Councilman Miller for his help on Arbor Day. And we do have another award, which I'm going to give to the mayor, which is a very pretty glass award that says Tree City USA Arbor Day Foundation 20 years. And there's a nice box to keep it in.
Thank you very much.
On your desk.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. I would like to say I did have the honor to drive out to Parsippany Troy Hills this Saturday, and thank you, Councilman, for doing the proclamation at the high school. It was quite an event out there in Parsippany Troy Hills. What's quite astounding here is there's actually only 2 cities in the state of New Jersey that's a tree city for 40 years. That's Parsippany and Paramus. There's 3 at 20 years, and Belvedere is the longest one at 20 years. So we're actually within the top 5 tree cities in the state of New Jersey. And this honor is bestowed absolutely to the Shade Tree Commission. You know, Dawn for many years, Gordon for many years, and all the new people that's on Shade Tree.
This is Mike Bullis and
Bob Piazza,
Black Husband.
Gordon Myers. So I think they deserve a big hand for all their It's time in our meeting now for public comment. Please come to the podium, state your name, and your comments will be taken under advisement. If there's anyone on council that can address or answer any questions during their committee reports or further on in the meeting, feel free.
Good evening, everyone, Mayor and Council. Linda Stetler, 190 Market Street.
Just to go over again, what is the reason you're having the Belvedere Ambulance Corps on the agenda for?
I invited to the Belvedere Ambulance Corps at their last meeting to come in and let us know what's going on with the Corps and if there's any assistance that we can help them with.
At the last meeting, there was mention of a shared service that you mentioned.
That was mentioned by yourself, Mrs. Stetler. That was a comment that Councilman Tutka brought up at the last meeting, and when you asked that question at the last meeting, my answer hasn't changed from that time.
And what is your answer?
And my answer is Knowlton approached us in reference to a shared squad with the town of Belvedere.
That you were looking for, or who was looking for?
That Knowlton was looking for,
Thank you.
and I believe that's exactly what I said the last time.
Well, unfortunately, the meeting of 2 weeks ago did not get on until today of the meetings, so I could not review that ahead of time.
That's fine, but please feel free to bring it back for the third time at the next meeting.
We might need to.
Thank you.
I'm not done yet. Okay, that's another matter which I'll bring up underneath the ordinance hearing for the public hearing. If you want me to stop now on that, I will. It does address the taping of the meeting, the budget meeting that happened regarding the budget. Public comment in the beginning of the meeting and the end of the meeting was not on the meeting that was posted on the town website. Can you tell me what happened?
Can you repeat that, please?
You need to look into why the beginning of a meeting,
Beginning
public-
of which
the
meeting?
budget, you only had two.
Okay.
The budget
Can you
meeting,
please tell me which meeting it was?
the budget meeting, the second one.
Okay.
There was no public comment. That was recorded, I believe, in the beginning. That was not left on. And the one at the end ended with Des Fitzgerald did not go into public comment. And I'm wondering why that would happen.
Mayor?
Yes, sure.
We've had a number of hiccups. You gotta understand, and when you were mayor and we decided to start videoing these things, okay, I'm doing this all on my own. I think it cost the town about $320.
You're correct.
Let me finish. Cost the town about $320 for the camera, and we bought a card. We've had a number of incidents with it, all right? If you want an official transcript of anything official, and I know that we've had this conversation with our town attorney, that is the official transcript that our town administrator has. So if there's a gap, if there's anything missing, you think, reach out for that. Because I guarantee you, I've had a number of times where that camera shut down. One time, the plug fell out. It records in 20-minute increments. Why, I don't know. And when you see a piece missing, it's a whole 20-minute segment. I don't know why it happens. It's happened more than once. It's probably happened about 3 times. All right? There's nothing, we're not trying to hide anything. Unfortunately, it just happens. If we wanted to go to a high-end system and have a very fit, by all means, let's spend some money and get it. But in the meantime, that's the best we're going to do for $300 and some. But anything that you need officially, please see our town administrator. You'll get every single word.
Thank you for that explanation. As you recall, when we did that, it's not for me, it's for the residents.
It's
that
absolutely, and I
view the meetings.
And I will tell you right now that when I look at the statistics, because I might as well throw this out there, we average anywhere from 13 to 30 residents, I don't know if they're residents, 13 to 30 viewers on any given one. So if I go back even a month, 2, 3 months, we have maybe about 30 viewers, the most on any given one. You can look for yourself. When you look on YouTube, it tells you how many views you had. But it's nice. I think it's a great little service that we give for the town. Are there hiccups? Yes. Is it perfect? No. I mean, I left today to come here. I had to turn around and go home. I forgot the camera. It happens. If we really want to have a perfect system, we're going to have to pay somebody to have a perfect system. Because, to be honest with you, I leave in December, so I don't know who's going to take over. Somebody else is going to have to do it. But right now, you're getting, I don't want to say a free service, but you're getting what you get, and I'm doing the best I can do.
Well, thank you for doing that. Maybe we could try to tweak and
Sure.
do a better job. I know it's
It's up to the
hard.
public, I mean, if the
I know
public
it's
wants it,
hard
we'll
when
make sure we can get the funding for it.
I know it's hard when you're doing it yourself, and hopefully, I think we did discuss that, I know we did, who was gonna take over, should you not be on council. And I think we teasingly maybe said that maybe Joe would have to do that. But I think the public does look for it, and when it's not on right away, I think they're disappointed. The other thing, the summer meeting schedule. If this is going where I think it's going, that we're going to reduce meetings in the summer, it was stated by many people on council how much work we had to do and how limited, there was only 2 meetings. If it's headed toward reducing it for the summer, I would look to say, we have a bunch of people in the room right now that belong to the block, and at any minute, their beeper could go off. And because of morally and what they have volunteered to do, they're gone. They're at the scene of an accident, somebody in need. So I would hope that the reduction for the summer meeting schedule does not go from 2 meetings to 1. And again, council, thank you, and mayor, for your time.
Linda, one quick question if you can, because I'm just a little bit confused. What does the summer schedule of meetings have to do with the squad having to leave for calls?
I'm comparing it to the fact that when I asked during the budget meeting who all on council was going to take a salary, you said, and this is in your own words, that it was everybody on council, including yourself.
I don't believe I said that.
Well, we'll review the tape.
You sure can.
Right.
You asked what the budget was. I said the budget line item included salary for everyone. But
Because
please take a look at it.
Mr. Miller asked why the number was so increased compared
That is
to the
correct.
other.
That is correct.
And you said you believed everybody was taking salary.
Right. Keyword being believed.
Okay. Has that changed?
Not that I know of.
Okay. And I didn't ask for names
That's
because
right.
that's
fine.
not important.
That's fine.
But that's the reason I asked. These volunteers have done it for years. And by the way, I received my donation envelope yesterday actually, Saturday for the ambulance corps, and it was back in the mail on Sunday. And I encourage you all, which I'm sure you will. It's a great group of people. I have not personally needed it for myself, and I hope I never do. But I have seen relatives and friends be well served by this ambulance corps. Thank you.
Just one other question, just to make sure that council is very clear on your statement. Are you alluding to the fact that council should operate on a volunteer basis and not take salary?
That's a personal issue.
Well, I'm just trying to grasp exactly what you're trying to say.
Well, I was concerned that you changed maybe the way from payroll of council people to maybe a stipend. Has that happened?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's our answer then.
Okay, thank you.
But I believe it's a personal, but I believe the ambulance corps sure does deserve a round of applause.
They will, as soon as they're done with their presentation, I'm sure they'll get one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Mayor, I have a public comment that has to do with the budget. Should I hold it for the,
Yes, sir, please,
for then?
please, thank you. Any other public comment? Okay. At this point, we'll go to the public hearing and adoption of the 2016 municipal budget, ordinance number 2016-X4, an ordinance to amend the municipal budget appropriation limit and to establish a capped bank per NJSA 40A4-45.14. Second reading. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Questions or comments? Mr. Mooney?
Well, with this is the COLA ordinance, the 2016 COLA ordinance. What this does is it allows you to do cap banking, which is anything you do not exceed the cap bank by, you get to bank that money going for the next 2 years, unless you use it next year. So that's really what this establishes. It also brings up your cost of living adjustment up to 3.5%. And this used to be an ordinance that was automatic, but with cap laws changing about 15 years ago, now it's required that you pass it by ordinance.
Any other questions or comments? Motion to close.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt. No, you can comment on the motion. He's gonna-
Can't comment on the motion, okay.
It's just the-
It's just okay. All in favor?
You need
Roll call.
you need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Councilman Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Councilman McIntyre.
Yes.
Councilwoman Myers.
Yes.
Councilman Miller.
Yes.
Councilwoman Napolitani.
Yes.
Councilman Tucker.
Yes.
Mayor Kennedy.
Yes. Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Brown, you want to ask your question first?
Yes,
Maybe,
thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I want to thank you for, first of all, for making the budget so readily available at Town Hall. It's very convenient. It's greatly appreciated. I have a series of questions that are all related to one area of the budget, which is a pet area of interest to mine, having served on the Hackettstown Municipal Utility Authority Board for many, many years before moving to Belvedere. My question has to do with the sewer budget. On sheet number 10, the budget shows in 2015, utility operating surplus of prior year of $40,000 and nothing for 2016. Could you explain to me in layman's terms what that difference is?
That's why we have Mr. Mooney here.
Okay.
Last year, there was $40,000 worth of sewer operating surplus utilized to help balance the 2015 budget. There were some holes in last year's budget that needed to be filled, and rather than increasing taxes, we took another source of revenue, which was that surplus from sewer. This year, there was no need for that. I believe there's a one-time thing that council wanted to do last year, so they did that last year, and they don't have it in there this year.
Okay. So you're saying that was used for general town purposes?
Correct.
Was mayor and council aware of, I had a question for you folks, because some of the faces have changed since then, but that not everyone that lives, not all residents of the town of Belvedere contribute to that fund? That there are some folks that are still on septic that do not contribute to the sewer fund? So some residents of the town receive a benefit for which they didn't have to pay any tax, that all the rest of us had to pay. Okay. Next question has to do with,
Excuse me just a minute.
Sure.
Do you know percentage-wise the very minuscule number of people that are not on the sewer?
I'll reach out to John.
Okay, we could clarify that for you, Mr. Grant, to let you know specifically. I use the word minuscule because truly it is.
I'm sure that it's a small number, but regardless, my personal view is that's not fair. If it's a one person that receives a benefit and doesn't pay the tax, to me, that's not fair or appropriate. Could be one, could be 20. I'm sure it's not a huge number, I would agree with you. On sheet number 34, it appears that the annual sewer service charges are projected to be up about $18,000. Is that as a result of new hookups? New customer base expected or something?
I believe that's as a result of what was realized in cash in the prior year. Last year, we budgeted $779,000 for sewer rents, and the actual amount that came in was $827,000. can't exceed the prior year collections, but that's an indication as to why those revenues went up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. On sheet 35, you have an increase in capital outlay from 49,000 to 65,000 forecasted here. Reason for that is?
The reason for that, I believe, is there was an I&I study being done, and once you get the results of that study in, if there are items that needed to be fixed within the sewer lines, you were able to do it through capital. Your capital outlay is increased for that purpose, and again, that's probably, the difference there is helped offset by the increase in rents that you're going to anticipate.
Okay. So essentially what they're expecting to be able to do is patch infiltration sources, eliminate them, and reduce the amount of downstream expenses for treatment?
Correct.
Thank you. That's been answered already. Pardon, bear with me a second.
Sure.
Well, that's it. You answered all my questions.
Just let me add to that just a little bit.
I'm sorry?
Just let me add a little bit to the last sewer question. DPW put together a 3-year plan on the sewer system as we started to build up the surplus in order to stop the infiltrated water. Last year was actually phase 1 in District 1, where they came in and did all the cameraing and imaging.
Correct. Correct.
In District 1. They now are proceeding with District 2 this year. And the first areas of District 2 that they're going to do is will be 2nd Street, because we just received a $138,000 grant to repave that street. So we felt if there was any infiltration of water
Fix it
or
there.
infrastructure that needed to be fixed, it would make sense to do all the corrections
Good.
at that time prior to paving. Hence why we finished the gas lines recently there as well.
Good, thank you. That's forward-looking.
Yes.
It's very important that the infrastructure be maintained, because long-term, you won't run into the same problems that they run into in some of the urban areas where they're always out of money, because frankly, they spent their money on something other than maintaining the system. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was off to your side, that was just no good.
That's okay, no problem. I appreciate it.
Go ahead,
No?
Any other questions from the public? Okay. Need a motion and a second to close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion to adopt?
Motion?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Councilman Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy.
No.
Councilwoman Myers.
Yes.
Councilman Miller.
Yes.
Councilwoman Napolitano.
Yes.
Councilman Tucker.
Yes.
Mayor Kennedy.
Yes.
You have a budget.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
John, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
Matters to be addressed. Matters to be addressed, Belvedere Ambulance Corps. Welcome, everybody, and thank you very much for taking the time to come.
Mayor and Council, we are here at the invitation of the mayor. We very much appreciate your time and your interest and input in our form and function up there in a little building on Hall Street. I'm not going to say too much to steal a thunder of my fellow officers here. I have Joe Moons, the Vice President Sergeant, as well as Eric Wood, the Captain. Both have a lot of time and a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge in this matter. The obvious matter being how well we're performing and functioning, what the future holds for different methods of EMS coverage. We have prepared a number of statistics and some information and a list of, I don't want to say requests, but ideas that maybe the council could assist us with. We stayed away from anything that had a cost factor. We're not looking here, out here looking for money. But we do appreciate the time, and I'll stand by for any questions. By the way, I'm the president of the ambulance corps, if I said that or not. I'll turn the podium over to Joe, and he can say a few words, and I'll be here for any questions that you should have.
Good evening, everyone. Just to kind of recap a little bit, what was alluded to earlier in the meeting, Councilman Tucka and Mayor Kennedy came to our monthly business meeting beginning of last month after being approached by Knowlton Township. We did have some discussion on pros and cons of everything that they were being approached with, and gave them pretty much a status of where we are at the moment, which our status is currently drastically improving as compared to last year, thanks to some training and some addition of some new members, which we're always looking for more, especially during the day. But we want to make sure that we highlight some issues that we as the ambulance corps make sure we bring to the town, including what we provide to the residents for free, not to mention just answering not only phone calls, but all the extras, besides standbys, events at schools, midget football, any other public events that go on in town. We make sure we try to make sure ourselves available to, at request, to handle any emergencies at those events. Let's see here. We went over a few things related to what they were advised of, and kind of shed some other perspective on what came from with the information they had received, versus what, I hate to say what reality is, but the other side of the coin, from the sales pitch that's been being pitched. Besides us providing the services for free, if you actually take the donation that the town provides to the organization, which I believe is $30,000, give or take, based on census numbers within the town, it comes out to roughly $17 a head that the ambulance corps literally only costs the residents, just based off that donation. So another service coming in would cost a resident an average of $1,000 to $1,500 per incident, not to mention the loss of the ability to do those standbys, because they would charge for their time. Anywhere is worth of $250 and up, depending on the length of time they would need to sit there. So we're really doing our best to improve our organization, streamlining a lot of our training, working on recruitment initiatives. We had signs go up last fall, which brought in a decent number of members. We're planning on putting them back up again now that the weather is broke. Other than that, I mean, we're really pushing to improve ourselves and improve our service to the town. Any questions overall?
I do. How many, I don't even know, how many members do you have?
Right now, we are at about 15 members that are a mix of people riding the ambulance versus people that are not, in various stages of membership, from cadet all the way up to life membership. Number of EMTs right now, we are at 8, I believe, that are certified, and we have a few more going to school come fall, or come summer.
You know, again, I'm just totally out in the dark. I don't know anything about the service and the great service. What about like drivers? Because I know a lot of times when I used to work,
Yes, we do have,
You know, I have
a variety of people that only drive also.
they show up at the house, you know?
Yes.
Yeah,
We do have a handful of people that only drive at this point.
I just think that, you know, my personal opinion, when you advertise for these new members, you know, tell people, hey, you know what, you can just be a driver. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to.
Yes, and when we do the broad advertising, and then when we start meeting with people one-on-one, we explain the membership categories. Also, all of our information regarding the SWAT is on our website, 21rescue.org. So we try and be as transparent as we can on that, not violating anyone's privacy or anything like that. So general membership information is also available there.
Do we have, you have your own website?
Yes.
Is that on our?
I believe there is a link, and
There's a
There's
actually,
a link.
I wanted to reach out to you, Teresa, and just double check to make sure it's working correctly.
Yeah.
Because we've had some
I
changes
haven't
recently
checked
on
it
it.
lately,
Yes,
so
that's
I'll make
great.
sure I do that.
Yeah, great.
So unless there's any major questions, any
The other thing is that-
nagging at people's brains?
As you do your recruitment efforts and things of that nature, major announcements,
Mhm.
by all means, we should also have the town website, which,
Yes.
gets quite a few hits, and
Yes.
our administrator can obviously
And we are
broadcast.
looking at the request of Mayor Kennedy and Councilman Tucker, we have been looking at how else the town can help us.
I think that's probably,
Yeah, small tag
Mayor,
along
what's your-
services. We had discussed briefly about possibly borrowing one of the road department drivers as needed. We do have on our end making provisions for that if that becomes available. And a few other things that we might just come and ask randomly, hey, are we allowed to do? And all we ask is that the town gives us an answer of yes, we can. Different things, can we place things in certain areas, can we, as we function throughout the town. Councilor Fitzgerald?
Just tell me about coverages and
Mhm.
what your problems become. I know it's tougher getting people during the day. Do you have drivers who can drive all day? Just throw some conversation out of it.
We have a mix, and it depends on work schedules. We have drivers, some drivers available some days, some EMTs available some drivers. We do have a couple of local people that, depending on what's going on with their businesses, they can leave. But it's daytime is always been a struggle.
Now, is it just with the driver or is it with
It's
the
both sides of the coin. It's both drivers and EMTs at times.
So when you fail, when you have a problem that...
We have mutual aid agreements in
Now you
place.
yourself, then you defer to...
Yes.
Dalton.
Yeah, we have mutual aid agreements in place with surrounding organizations, not even just for Belvedere, for White Township, for our coverage area in White Township and Harmony as well, where they would come in as a second due agency if for some reason we weren't able to go.
Now, with the program you've had, the posters out and communications been going on for the last year, I guess, has it improved?
Yes, we have seen a big increase in our call volume, and our ability to answer calls in the past year.
Now, one of the things that I know scared off a lot of people from ambulance corps, rather than EMT, was the requirements that you have to have before you can get on the rig.
Some of them, a lot of those are outside of our control. In order to join our organization, it's a minimum of first aid and CPR card, which we provide that training for free. A lot of the other requirements are state and federal mandated, between obtaining an EMT license if you're going to be treating a patient, and other federal FEMA required for incident command training, things like that. It's all things that get built on. But EMT class itself is up to roughly 200 hours, give or take, at this point. And that's just more gets added as the state adds on to their curriculum. So you're looking at, the college currently runs the class twice a year. The fall class starts at the end of August and will run till December. Which we also, through state training fund money, we're able to provide that at no cost to the volunteer.
Get many people drop out.
For various reasons here and there, work schedule changes, personal life changes.
I know the mayor's dying to ask this question, I'm going to ask it before he does. As a council, what can we do to help?
We've been looking at a couple different things. During our workshops, we discussed if possibly, if you have, we could possibly borrow the town attorney from time to time to just run the policy by, to make sure that we're within the law. Little incidental things, possibly if the town uses a grant writer, if we can piggyback off of that as well. Unfortunately, the cost of EMS equipment keeps going up, to the tune of a new stretcher now costs us probably anywhere from $10,000 or the $10,000 bulk price range or more. An ambulance, for everyone's reference, is roughly $170,000, and we've always funded that for the most part with our own money. So it's things like that. If we want to put up permanent recruitment signs, we've talked about getting actual metal street sign type that will last. just guidance on where they will, you can put them and possibly some labor to help us do that. Things along those lines, some things are low monetary. We do have some incentives already from the town, pool membership for our members. I believe the dog licenses and building permits are also in there. We might ask that to see what other township incentives we can pull in, or maybe extend some of those those incentives a little bit. Nothing outrageous.
Do you draw many volunteers from outside the township?
Actually, this year, yes, we have. I myself, I live in Harmon. I used to live in Belvedere for many years. We have quite a handful that come from White Township this year. Where years ago, it was primarily the town itself. So we're seeing a bit of a swing in the pendulum from one direction to the other.
So you're seeing a little bit of what the fire department's getting.
Yeah.
You're getting more
And
out of Belvedere than you used to have.
yeah. I mean, in my experience with the organization, I've been with the organization since 1999 at this point. I mean, Lori was captain at that point. I've noticed that volunteer emergency services are very secular. They go from high to low to back high, and your membership is constantly evolving.
You had mentioned earlier different categories of memberships.
Yes. We have our cadet membership, which children from the age of 16 can join. That's their category between 16 and 18 years old. At 18, you can join as a probationary member, where you would be learning the treatment of a patient in the back of an ambulance, and you're able to go to EMT class and obtain your state certification. Driver onlys, with our auto insurance at the moment, is 21. So you need 21 with 3 years driving experience, because we don't want someone who just got their license to be behind the wheel of an emergency vehicle. We do provide training on that. And then we have an auxiliary for those people that don't necessarily want to be involved in patient care, but want to help the organization out in one way, shape, or form. Whether it's fundraising, building upkeep, that being the behind-the-scenes people. And then eventually, as you work through your membership time as an active member, you earn your life membership, your exempt membership.
How's your auxiliary force?
We don't really have one. It's always been a struggle for our organization to maintain.
Any other questions? If not, I'd like to repeat myself again, same as I did at your meeting. I'm a cultural type person. Belvedere Squad's been with us for 71 years, correct?
Yeah, since 1945.
You guys do a great job. We know you were struggling a little bit, I really appreciate you guys coming in and talking to us and informing everybody equally at the same time, as to what you're working on. And most importantly, I've written down some of your needs. Please continue to communicate to Mr. Tutka to bring back information, and I will address all these issues that you brought to our attention.
All right, thank you
But
very
most
much.
of all, thank you very much, Squad, for everything you guys do. I greatly appreciate it.
If anyone is interested in joining, please stop down. Our business meeting is the first Tuesday of the month. Our drills are the last Tuesday of the month, so feel free. They both start at 7 o'clock, so feel free to stop by beforehand. You're guaranteed someone at the building at that point in time. If not, if you're driving by and you see a car parked there, feel free to ring the bell. And then we are also doing a standard first aid class on the 14th. If anyone is interested in joining, that will, this way they can take advantage of that.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next matter is to address is farmer's market. I'll address that real quickly. As I stated at the last meeting or two, the farmer's market will not be coming back to Belvedere, as I understand it. The group that has been heading it up for the last 2.5 years, 3 years, have found it not lucrative enough to remain in Belvedere, so they're moving it out to White Township, closer to their farm. So I
discussion on this last time. We're definitely keeping the name Belvedere Farmers Market.
I would think the Belvedere Farmers Market name.
In speaking to our town council, we are definitely keeping that name.
I've already been speaking to council, and I've also already given them the newspaper article, referring that it's going to another location, so it's being addressed.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next item, resolution number R 2016-X21, a resolution authorizing return of premium monies for Block 3, Lot 2. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Next item is summer meeting schedule. Yes, if you'd like to address it.
Last year we did, almost a summer meeting schedule. I just wanted to bring to your attention, July, would be the July 5th, July 4th falls on Monday. That would normally move us to the 5th, where we have a planning board meeting. So then we have a scheduling issue.
I did take a look at that, and my suggestion would be to move the first meeting to July 11th and the second meeting to the 25th. So you're actually doing the second week and fourth week, and that will take it out of the way of,
Whatever council wants to do.
it's up to
We're
council.
talking the 11th and 25th. Pardon me?
Are we reducing our schedule, or are we just changing dates?
That's up to council.
Well, when it went on the agenda, what was the initiative for the summer meeting? What is considered summer months, I guess, to start with?
Well, that was for you to decide as
Okay,
well.
June, July, and
June,
August, or
July,
just
and
July and
August.
August?
Just July and August, I mean, we're already approaching June and have, things to address, so at this point, I would think it would be July and August.
One thing I did want to remind us of, and I do know we have a new council right now, but we did discuss last year that we did not think it was wise, while we meet on the first Monday of every month, the first Tuesday is election day for June and for November, and we did contemplate moving that particular meeting night also. I don't know what council's pleasure would be on that, but we did discuss that last year. We did in fact move a meeting, I believe.
Yeah, we did,
One
November.
time. Yeah.
So where are
So we could move the first meeting in June to the second Monday, which would be June
13th.
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 Correct.
Chris, you want to write this down, please?
Yeah.
Okay. The first meeting in June will be June 13th. The second meeting will be June 27th, correct?
To do that.
27th.
That would be the, so then July,
Yes, July will be July 11th.
I'm not available July.
Okay.
Do we have to have the meetings in July?
Then we would move it to the third week, leave it the third week in July and skip the first one.
be the 18th.
Which-
Well, she said third week in July would be the 18th.
Which would be your regular.
Which would be a regular meeting, we'll just not have the first with the
So you would have a
potential
meeting
date
in
conflict
July?
the following week and the 4th of July holiday and the planning board, a lot of logistics.
So June is
So
13th.
one meeting in July and two in June.
Correct.
With that August,
That's it.
with that August.
One in August.
I think we'll be too busy.
You want 2 in August?
I think we schedule 2, and if a workshop is not needed, we can change it in June or July.
That's fine.
But let's stay with the August schedule.
So you have June 13th, 27th, and July 18th.
Correct.
Okay.
We have 5 Mondays.
And again, if something comes up that you have to address, you can have it. Have a meeting.
So if you
Well,
say
is-
one meeting in July, two in June.
Correct.
September 5th Labor Day, the first Monday in September, because I'm on the same thing as 4th of July.
That day we meet on.
But Tuesday would be planning board again,
Tuesday will be planning.
so we're back to that again. Yeah.
It is.
And it appears they are meeting
budget wasn't a problem because they weren't meeting as much. But now they have some business before them. And unfortunately, it's harder to move them than it is to move you because there's so many of them and their planner, Paul, Mr. Sturbins, and Mr. Bloomberg, have very tight schedules. So it's really hard for them to fit in another day in a month.
So would we be better served to do the same thing in September that we're doing in July, which would be, well, not the June, the 2nd and the 4th?
My opinion would be September's pretty far out yet.
We'll just
And
keep it in
we
mind.
don't know what we're gonna have on our plate. You know, we may have to adjust something as we're going along right now. So I don't suggest that we move on September, it stays the same
For now.
for now.
We'll address it as we get closer.
We obviously know we're not gonna do it September 5th, but I think we'll discuss it a little bit later.
Maybe the 6th or how you're gonna move it.
So we want to do on what's August?
So I will advertise.
Will you please advertise that?
First and fifth.
Thank you.
We want to do a motion on that.
Yeah, that would be fine.
All right. Can I have a motion on those changes and the advertising?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments?
So just clarify, we got June 13th, June 27th, July 18th, August 1st, and August 15th.
Right, August we didn't touch, to stay the same.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we have raffle license application R8A 16-10, Evening Star Quilting Guild. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The item of correspondence we received is they're requesting a street closure. You got a copy of this on your desk there. They're asking for, please accept my apologies for not requesting your approval and assistance earlier. This is from Mike Moyer. He's requesting street closure in front of the restaurant on Front Street, from Greenwood Street to Mansfield Street, as he's done in the past. And he's asking for the dates of June 3rd, July 1st, and August 5th, so they can do their cruise nights in front of This'll Do Us Eatery. And that coordinates with the First Friday celebration every month. So that would be June 3rd, July 1st, and August 5th.
Unfortunately, I didn't get this until the reports were done. Because of the timing of it, I didn't want to wait till the second meeting in May. I would, if you approve, I would just make it contingent upon the chief's approval, because I haven't had a chance to review it with them yet.
Can I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Okay.
Questions and comments?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. It's now time, okay, approval of purchase orders. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. It's now time for our second comments. Please address the podium. Any questions, any comments, public comments? Yes.
Rita Snickle, Third Street. I just want to say that my husband was on the ambulance corps for at least 25 years and held every office there was there. It's a fantastic thing. I understand exactly what they said. It goes up and down. A couple of weeks ago, I was here to say that I was a very proud mother-in-law and grandmother because I have a son-in-law, 2 grandchildren on the fire company. The same 3 are on that ambulance corps, and I know those 3 can handle both of them. And that ambulance corps is going to continue. We'll do whatever we been here for, excuse me, it's gonna be a freebie for another 75 years.
I agree. Thank you. Any other public comments? If not, you need a motion to adjourn.